to a state of imminent emergency before the concentration camp plan could be tolerated as the lesser of two evils. See, white people are going to give up their freedom without a fight simply by the media, newspapers and television and radio, telling them that there's two evils facing you. And it's better to go along with this law than to suffer the other evil. We admit that this law, taking your civil liberties, is evil. But if we want to put a stop to these dark-skinned people ruling our country, which Jesse Jackson brought to their attention through the Rainbow Coalition idea, therefore politics, they tell you, will never be the same again in this country. The fear was that the dark-skinned people might get together. So the only way that white people will tolerate this taking place is they're presented with two evils. The concentration camp and the subsequent loss of their freedom, they go together, or suffer dark-skinned people taking over.
Should have been pushing that.
That's their choice. President Roosevelt fermented Pearl Harbor as an excuse to round up West Coast Americans of Japanese ancestry, called the McCarran Act, and shipped them to relocation camps. They did this at Pearl Harbor. They did it. All Japanese within 24 hours were rounded up, their houses taken, businesses taken, money taken, clothes taken, separated from their families, put in jail unless they fought for America. They let them out to fight and kill their own Japanese people. The rest of them stayed in these concentration camps until the war was over. And they, at 40 years later, they haven't gotten their money back, property back, businesses back yet. So America has already done this to people who believed in America, but they were dark-skinned people. And you running around here thinking the white man doesn't have plans for you when you were waking up. Whether you come to this building or not, my people know now that Yahweh is black and that he is the black man's God, and that Yahweh is here to save us, redeem us, and take us out of America, and they are now understanding they're Hebrew Israelites and not niggers. They can't handle a people 50 million strong being wide awake in their midst. Don't you know he has to plan something? Well, you better plan something too, called fly to Yahweh, and let's get out of here. Praise Yahweh. It was portrayed by the controlled establishment media as the lesser of two evils. The greater evil being internal sabotage by the dirty Japs. Either put these people in concentration camps, or these dirty Japs will sabotage our country. Don't you understand the mystery? Either put these so-called black people in concentration camps, or suffer them doing riots and tearing us up across the country. See, they know they're getting ready to bring funny money in 85. That's when they plan. They may not do it, but that's their plan.
Oh, they waited so long.
They know they have pumped a whole lot of paper into the economy, and that inflation is going to go crazy after the elections, and inflation has already started up. Food prices and everything is already starting to rise now. And they already know with the banking collapse that countries like Argentina, they told you on the news tonight that the game they ran on you is unraveling. That the dark countries said they're not going to pay these white banks any more money. Which means that the banks will collapse. And when the banks collapse, if you don't have a little piece of silver or gold, you won't be able to buy anything. And if you won't be able to buy anything, you won't be able to eat. And if black folk can't eat, they're going to tear the hell out of the country. So they got concentration camps ready for you. You better come to Yahweh now so you can eat and do what I'm telling you. You better wake up. If black folk can't eat, they gonna riot. I mean, no black folk will riot if they can't eat. When Dixie in Publix, I don't care what kind of door they got on it, it's gonna come down when niggas get hungry. How many know they will start a truck up and run it through the brick wall, son? Niggas gonna eat long as there's some food in the ghetto. And when there's no more food in the ghetto, niggas gonna break out the ghetto. They're going downtown in white neighborhoods and places. How many know that's right? So to keep you from doing that, you think white folk are crazy? They're gonna round you up first as potential terrorists, troublemakers, potential rioters for food. And you know who you're going to go try to hurt and kill. Only ones got food is white folks. How many can see the picture? I'm not trying to excite you. I'm telling you what's happening. And you better come to Yahweh. Now, what have you been told lately by those who have secretly taken your civil liberties that could lead to a national emergency? How about terrorists at the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles this summer? How about the threat in newspaper articles,
Japan,
headlines, terrorist threats at Los Angeles? So we got to put in these emergency laws.
Excuse me, Seoul, Korea.
Well, it's already in, see? Laws already drafted and accepted. How many white people will go along with that? How many black folk will go along with, yeah, you better round up those terrorists? We want to be able to look at the Olympics in peace. How about terrorists at the Summer Olympics? Picture this scenario. The Soviets, you know, they'll be here in Los Angeles, right? How about this picture? The Soviets caused internal U.S. disorder with terrorist strikes at Los Angeles and used the confusion to launch a preemptive missile strike. How about headlines like that?
Mm-hmm.
That sound far-fetched?
So Korea,
With
North
the
Korea.
present nuclear hysteria the day after, remember? See, to go along with the Olympics, the white man has already conditioned the American people to nuclear destruction at the hands of Russians because they know that the Olympics is coming up this summer. And this would be a good chance to run those kind of headlines. They've already run the rest on you. So they run these kind of headlines and then say, pick up all suspected terrorists and potential troublemakers. Can you see how many black folk in trouble? So such a suggestion from the government would probably receive a wide acceptance, don't you think? Well, that is the information. Write it down, put it in your envelope, seal it up. You may have to, in fact, it won't do you any good to seal it up because they've already started this. Today is the Mexicans. Today the term is called illegal aliens. Who is it tomorrow? Don't you know it's our people? You have a way out. And the only way out is Yahweh.